When you first start PRI, it can be very confusing because you're learning about pelvis and rib cage in general. When you get to the more advanced courses, you'll learn about the head and the neck. And you start learning all these different exercises, and you see all these different positions and terms: AFIR, FAIR, AFER, FAER, thoracic rotation to the left, thoracic rotation to the right. You might get to the point where you're learning about lateral or thoracic abduction. You'll start learning about lateral flexion of the neck. But the important thing is that you keep in mind that PRI is walking and breathing. Walking and breathing. And when I really internalized that concept, I started to understand it a lot better. Because the way that you learn, everything gets split up in different parts. So you might take myokinematic restoration first, and where you're going to learn about how the pelvis moves on top of a femur and how the effect that that will have on the lower spine. If you take the pelvic restoration course, you're going to learn all about left AFIR, and you're going to learn about the left AIC pattern, the PEC pattern. It's all about the pelvis and the inlet and the outlet. The postural respiration course, a lot about the rib cage, how ribs externally rotate and internally rotate. And in the right brachial chain pattern, your right side is internally rotated, the left side is externally rotated. But remember, walking and breathing, walking and breathing. So in the typical pattern, called the left AIC pattern, the pelvis on the left rotates forward, which orients you to the right. In order to stay straight, your rib cage and spine, or your rib cage has to counter-rotate back to the left. That is the pattern. That is the left AIC, right BC pattern. It's just an attempt to stay straight. But remember, in order to fix this, we have to just reverse the pattern. Now, this is fine if you're on your right foot. This is walking. This is how you should be if your weight is on your right foot. If you take a step with your weight, with your right foot, your pelvis should orient to the right, and your torso should counter-rotate back to the left as you're stepping and swinging through. So the weight's on the right side, and the left foot is coming forward in swing phase. The problem occurs if you land on the left foot and this position doesn't change. If your pelvis is still oriented to the right and your torso is still rotated to the left on your left foot, that's the problem. You're stuck. It should be like this. But that doesn't happen. And that is walking and breathing. Now, all those exercises that you see, it's kind of hard to figure out where is it all leading to? Because you have some that are supine, some that are side-lying, some that are on all fours, some are standing. What the majority of them are trying to get you to is left stance. It's trying to train your body to put the weight on the left foot, get the pelvis pointed towards the left, and counter-rotating the torso back to the right. That just reflects how you should be when you're on your left foot. Again, you're on your right foot all the time. It should do this: right foot, left foot, but it's not. And all those exercises are attempting to get you to rotate your pelvis back to the left out of its rightward oriented position. Here I am in right stance. Get the pelvis back to the left so you can shift your weight over to the left and counter-rotate your torso back to the right so you can get into stance phase on the left side of your body and rotate your torso to the right as your right leg is swinging forward in gait. If you can get left AFIR, which is a left pelvis, back without straightening your knee, without extending your back, if you can do that in a nice, relaxed manner and rotate your torso to the right, that means you have left abs and your neck is positioned correctly, and you have good arm swing. That's PRI right there. That is the goal. and then be able to do it right to left without getting stuck. Again, when I realized what PRI being walking and breathing really was, I realized all those funky looking exercises are an attempt to train your body to get into left stance with right trunk rotation and building strength. And that's what the adduction lift test is really for. You're building neuromuscular strength in that left hip so you have a stable platform to counter-rotate your torso. If you can get in good left stance, generally 3 out of 5 on the adduction lift test, with counter rotation, you're going to be good to go for the most part. So don't get caught up in so many you're going to get caught up in minor details and the differences between the pelvis going one way and the other and the rotation. Just remember, keep in mind, if you're getting confused, it's all about walking and breathing, and ultimately all of these exercises are training your body to get into true left stance with a counter rotation to the right, because the human body is not built to do that. It's much easier for us to stand to the right and counter rotate to the left.